Hello and welcome to Microsoft Project Professional 2010. Tip 1 on improved productivity and more effective communication. My name is Robert Happy and I work with an organization called the Project Management Practice, Inc. I've been specializing in project management consulting and training for the last 17 years, where I've published multiple articles and training programs on project management and Microsoft Project, including a new book release called A Project Manager's Guide to Microsoft Project 2010, which will also help you get certified in Project 2010. I've literally worked with hundreds of organizations and thousands of individuals to help optimize project management. I'm an MCTS, I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, I'm a project management professional certified through PMI. I'm also certified as a senior level consultant with Franklin Covey. I've implemented multiple custom PMOs, processes, systems for large and small private and public sector organization. I'm a founding partner and an executive team member for Project Management Practice, Inc., where we specialize in project management training, custom project management systems, PMO setup, and support. You can check us out at www.pm-practice.com. This tip overview will cover using the ribbon to access relevant project management functions in a fluid and more productive manner, and using the timeline view to plan and communicate more effectively with key stakeholders. Let's switch over to Microsoft Project, where you'll be introduced to a new and exciting interface. You're probably going to be familiar with the Gantt chart, which comes at the bottom part of this view, but also included in the new default view is the timeline view, which we'll cover in this tip. You'll also notice that there is a ribbon associated with Project 2010, and it starts off with the Task tab, where you'll have more relevant commands for planning and scheduling and managing tasks. So for example, I've got schedule type information here that I can access for indenting and outdenting tasks. I can access status information. I can use the mark on track function. I can switch from auto schedule to manually schedule. I can easily move tasks forward or backwards. I can insert new tasks. I can insert new summary tasks. I can insert milestones. Lots of good task commands under the Task tab. I can click on the Resource tab to access relevant resource management and planning type functions, where I might want to assign resources to tasks or change how I'm sharing my resources by using the resource pool. I can change views by clicking on the different views that are available to me from here as well. I can also insert resources to my resource pool if I need to. I can use the leveling functions here. And I can also click on the Project tab, which gives me access to project level type items. For example, I can click on the Project Information dialog box and fill out my project start date, or maybe apply a different calendar at the project level. I can click on Change Working Time to maybe create new calendars or modify existing calendars, or I might use the Set Baseline feature to set up a baseline from here or update my entire project. I might even access some project level reports or even compare projects here. I can even insert sub-projects to set up a master plan from here. So the project level tab is very useful for dealing with project items. If I click on the View tab, I can quickly and easily change all the different task views that are available to me. I can switch to a resource type view that are available to me. I can manage the components of each of the views that are here. For example, I can switch tables. I can use the grouping feature. I can use the filtering feature. I can use the highlight feature. I can change the zoom here if I need to zoom in, or maybe zoom the entire project all at once. I can click on that. Maybe I can also turn on or off my timeline view. I don't need to look at my timeline view. I can turn it off, or I can check it back on again. Maybe I want to create a split screen view by having details with my task form at the bottom part of my view, or simply go back to my timeline view. So the View tab makes it easy to switch views and control the components of the views. The Format tab makes it easy for me to control the different look and feel of each view. So for example, my Gantt chart, I might want to change the Gantt chart styles or the bar styles, or maybe I need to insert columns or even create custom fields for that particular view, or maybe format the text styles. I can even come over here and turn on my project level summary tasks so I can roll up my entire project into one line. So the Format allows me to change the look and feel of whatever view that you have applied. Then of course there's the File tab, which takes me to the Backstage view for all of my file management related commands, and there's some new and exciting features in here as well. So for example, if I click on Save and Send, I can save this as a PDF file, or maybe I want to sync my task with SharePoint. I can actually access my project options here as well, and I can also click on the Info tab to get to my organizer if I need to swap bits of information from one project plan to another. I'm going to go back to my Task tab, and it'll take me back to my Gantt chart, but you'll notice that the timeline view is on top of my Gantt chart, and I can modify my timeline view quite easily. First thing you want to do is think about which components do you want to add to your timeline, and that's really easy to set up. So for example, if I click on requirements completed and I right click, there's a list that I can choose add to timeline, and I can turn on or off components in my timeline. So if I right click on add to timeline, notice that milestone has now been added to my timeline. Same thing with summary tasks. If I right click on a summary task, I can choose add to timeline or remove from timeline. Notice the requirements is now off, and I can right click on requirements and select add to timeline. I can even add the project summary line if I want by right clicking on the project summary and selecting add to timeline. Notice it shows up in a bar in the timeline view. So now that you've got the components of your timeline view added, you can then format them quite easily. So maybe, for example, the overall project level line item I don't want as a bar, I can right click on it and display this as a callout. And maybe I have this as a callout. You can do that for any one of the components. You can also click on a component and change the format. Maybe I don't want this to be green, but I want it to be more of a fuchsia color. Maybe I want the design to be a different color. Maybe that milestone color needs to change, or the font of that particular milestone needs to change. So you can change the look and feel using the format command of what this timeline view looks like. And once you have it formatted properly and you have all the components added that you want to communicate, I can simply right click on copy timeline and select for email, for presentation, or full size. You'll also notice that same command under the format tab once I've got my timeline view activated under the copy group under copy timeline. So I can send this to an email or for presentation or full size to paste into any other application. Let's try for presentation for now, and if I go back to my PowerPoint slideshow, and all I have to do is simply hit paste, and in comes my timeline view. And of course it pasted at the top, so I just simply need to move that down. And one of the nice things about this particular paste is that it doesn't just paste it in as one solid object. I can access each individual component. Maybe I'm getting ready for a project review meeting and I want to call out design complete, so I can change the look and feel of that by underlining it, perhaps bolding it, maybe making it a little bit bigger. I could even take this item and move it down, and maybe I need to change the line and move it down as well. So again, you can change the look and feel. Maybe I want to change this to a black. And then I'm ready for my project review meeting to present and discuss what's coming up with this milestone called Design Completed. So you can modify the look and feel of your timeline view quite simply. So overall, you can use the ribbon to find relevant project management functions when you need them most to work in a fluid and more productive manner to schedule more efficiently. You can also use the timeline view to present a more concise overview of a project in a visual and meaningful format without the hassle of recreating it using other applications or duplicating effort. Hope you've enjoyed this tip. Stay tuned for more.